So what can trigger a sugar spike? I just discussed with you previously uh, what is a sugar spike, but what can be the trigger, the cause, the event that can start a sugar spike? So you have to understand that our body is a psychobiological being, which means that psychologic um, situations can trigger or can lead into chemical effects in our organism, and the contrary is also valid too. You may be familiar with the neuro transmitters, like the neurochemicals and the effects on it. So let's give some examples for it. There are two main sources for a sugar spike, and both are connected to stress. The first of all is the chemical stress, and the second of it is the environmental or emotional stress. Because, for example, let's say you are getting bad news about your workplace, about your family, about any situation, or you're having problems at work because let's say something very simple. You just have to work with people that you don't like, people that is toxic in the environment. Now that is very common about talking about toxic people. You have to go every day to work, and you already know that you have to meet these people that you don't like. So these people are going to trigger in you a stress mechanism, which is not going to be only affective. It's not going to only change or alter your mood. It's going to inside come together with chemical changes in which stress hormone like cortisol, even adrenaline, and other hormones are going to be released. And this release is going to have a secondary effect, which is going to be the raise in blood sugar. Why? Because this is something that is basic for every living being. Whenever you are facing a stress related situation, it doesn't have to be a mortal one. It can be also a tension related to job, as I was telling you. The stress is going to come together with the release of hormones, and these hormones are going to act in having a background activity in you, and the consequence is going to be the raise of blood sugar too. This is why it is recommended for people which are already diagnosed with diabetes or pre-diabetes to avoid as much as possible environments in which they are loaded with so much emotional stress. It's terrible for them. But you don't have to be diabetic or pre-diabetic to also be affected by it. You know, because we are discussing about blood sugar spike. So, and another one is the chemical, the chemical stress. This is an issue that many times we discuss about psychological stress or work-related stress, but the chemical stress is really ignored. So, for example, I don't want to mix the concepts because these are different, but let's take the case of allergies. For example, you're allergic to some kind of fish, to pineapple, to peanut butter, to shellfish, for example. So the response on your body when you eat this kind of foods are going to be allergy, right? Because there is going to be a histamine release and the reaction from your body, which can be fatal in some cases not. But there is a chemical reaction to some proteins which are in these food that are considered allergenic. It's going to create allergy into you. So, same as that, but with a different manifestation, you're going to have chemical stress related to certain foods. And I'm not talking about eating sugar, which definitely raises sugar. I'm talking about certain foods, which in this case are specific for every person. Like, you cannot set as a rule that everyone is going to have a reaction, like a stress, a chemical stress reaction for eating the same. So we have these two sources of stress. The first one is the psychological stress, and the secondary one is the chemical stress related to diet. For example, in my case, I could recognize that something that gets me really stressed, something that is affecting, for example, my digestion, is eating pork. How did I recognize it? Because after months, of having some digestive issues, I realized that my digestion was being affected by the consumption of certain foods like pork. How did it affect my digestion? And it created chemical stress inside of me, because some of the components in it, which I suppose are the protein, are affecting how my digestion is happening. It's basically making it slower, making it heavier, making it very difficult, and this is one of the manifestations of chemical stress inside of your body. And this is purely chemical, as far as I could see it looking backwards on my experience. So it is really important that you listen to your body, because it's giving you hints. Sadly, the body cannot talk as you could talk with another person, but by the sensations that you are having, is going to tell you when it is reacting to certain foods which you shouldn't eat, and you won't necessarily have something like an allergy. You just may feel bad inside, you may feel tired after eating them, because the thing is that when there is a sugar spike, it is true that there is a sudden raise in the blood sugar levels, but then it's going to be a depletion of it. And this depletion is going to bring as a consequence some tiredness too. Maybe it's not felt directly, but these sudden changes in the blood sugar are affecting our organs in ways that we are not feeling it directly. So, to close, as much as a chemical source can affect you and trigger blood sugar spike, it's also possible that the chemical intake of certain foods can also trigger it.